Alright, it's Antline Alpha, and I'm back with another movie review. I haven't done one in a while, and the reason I'm doing this one is I specifically got a request from the screenwriter slash lead actor of the movie, Tetherball. Tetherball the movie came out in 2010, it looks like, if IMDb is to be trusted, and it isn't a lot of times, so I don't know. I thought it was super nice that this guy, Rick Dawson, contacted me and asked me to do a review of a movie he was in, and yeah, he emailed me. He contacted me on Twitter, which I found interesting, saying that he saw my movie reviews and wanted me to do a movie review of this movie, and I thought it might have just been one of those, like, spam phishing type of accounts that's just trying to get like you to follow them back. But no, it's the real guy, Rick Dawson, who wrote Tetherball and starred as Zach Smith, the main character. And he asked me to email him in the Twitter reply, and I emailed him, and he was nice enough to give me a private link to the movie on YouTube. And so, thank you very much. It's really, really unfortunate that I don't have a lot nice to say about this movie. In fact, I hesitate to even call it a movie. The full title is Tetherball the movie, but the picture quality, the pacing of this, just the editing, it seems like a really long YouTube video. That's what it feels to me. It feels like you got a couple of your friends to put something together, to write a script, and just film it with a camera. Just a regular old camcorder. 'Cause let me look for the budget of this if I can find it. Detail. IMDb usually tells you the budget on the front. I'm not seeing it here. Maybe I'm wondering if there even is a budget, because it definitely didn't go into editing, didn't go into production. Probably just paid the actors. There's 4 main characters in this that are like the Tetherball team, and they're played by Rick Dawson, he's the lead character, Rob Fender, Brian Titus, Jonathan Alderman. So those are, I believe, the 4 guys who are on the protagonist side of the movie. And then you have people like Ron Jeremy in this movie. You've got Ron Jeremy as, like, I don't know what you'd call it. He's like the guy that kind of puts this team together. There's a lot of things in this movie that I just don't understand why they happen. I mean, the movie is supposed to be a comedy, and in comedies there's you have to suspend your belief a lot, but these things are just so dumb sometimes. Like, I don't even remember why they ask him to do this. They ask these guys to be in the Tetherball game. But they're, like, the 4 guys before they join the Tetherball team are working, like, a desk job where they sell t-shirts. And, like, the gimmick is the t-shirts are really offensive. And so, like, they end up using their t-shirt making abilities to like make their own team t-shirts. It says like Foul Mouths. That's the name of their tetherball team. And the room where they're on the phone and making these calls to like customers who are wanting to get t-shirts, and the room, no budget went into any set design for this movie. It just looks like they found like a small space in a classroom in high school and just put like a white table in that and had a bunch of like home phones where they just pick them up and pretend to talk to people. And so that's like how it becomes started. There's 4 guys who work at a shirt making job, and then they get recruited into this tetherball team for some reason by Ron Jeremy, who's gay for the lead actor, and the writer is gay for Zach Smith, the character. And because Rick Dawson wrote this, I have to feel like this is kind of an ego stroke, because if you don't know who Ron Jeremy is, he's like a famous porn star who got into acting later for I'm not sure what reasons, but he's originally a porn star, I think, and like he's probably the best actor in this whole movie, along with his assistant. I can't remember who the assistant is played by. Johnny Lechner, I think that's him. I think Vince was the name. But yeah, Ron Jeremy is like super gay for Rick Dawson, and so is his assistant, Vince, if that's the right character. And so I have to imagine that when Rick Dawson is writing this, he's like, I'm going to make everyone attracted to me as much as possible in this movie, because that's going to be funny. And all the girls are going to like me too. So Ron Jeremy is like super creepy in this movie. And he's like blackmailing this guy. He's like threatening to like shut down the team if he doesn't like suck him off. And there's just so many stupid plot points. This movie just goes through like all the big comedy tropes and just does them with as little effort and creativity as you can imagine. And like in the beginning, in the opening scene, it does like the introduction of the characters thing. Like it'll show a character in their own house, and then it'll like make it go black and white, and then Rick Dawson will be narrating over it, saying like, this character is this type of guy, and he's our main guy. He's the big stud of this place. He gets all the women he wants. And there's like two brothers. One of them is, I think, married, and his wife cheats on him later with these like 2 really like cartoonish looking, not looking, but like seem like caricatures. Really, that's like every character in this movie just seems like they're just over the top, but not like a cartoon over the top where it'd be funny. It's just like hammed up acting. Just really, there's no point in this movie where my immersion wasn't broken. Like, it feels like it's just like a long YouTube video. It doesn't feel like a movie. And so yeah, there's like not much to explain for the plot of this movie. It's just like they join a tetherball team and they fight opponent tetherball teams. And again, it goes through the comedy trope. So like they do really good against all these other tetherball teams, and then this one tetherball team with like big buff guys like knocks them down, wipes the floor with them, so they can't So now it's like there's a team that they can't defeat. There's like no chance in hell. So the guy runs off with the main character runs off with his girlfriend. It's like, gotta get your head back in the game. And then they go back, and through like sheer luck, it's like the sports finale part of the movie where it's like the underdog versus the big guy on the team he doesn't stand a chance with, and like he accidentally does a foul, and so he gets penalized. And that's another really stupid thing in this movie, is they just arbitrarily decide that anytime there's a foul in the game, that the other team gets to like kick him in the nuts. That's their penalty for grabbing the rope or whatever fouls there are in tetherball. They just get hit in the, like, kneed in the nuts, and they fall on the ground. Everybody laughs. There's like people at home watching this live on their computer, which was confusing for me at some points. They're just like, it just like cuts to like this guy in a room. You can't tell he's looking at a computer sometimes, so it's just like a guy will get kicked in the nuts, and it'll cut to this other guy in this random room who's just like, no! It's like, ugh! It's like, where is this? I can't tell what's going on half the time. Just the editing is so choppy. And just, that's the whole movie. Another thing that really, really bothered me is just like I'd said earlier, it's like kind of an ego stroke for the main character who like makes the two guys who are like recruiting the tetherball people and like in charge of the management or whatever, he makes them gay for him, so that's an ego stroke. But also just like all the women in this movie are treated like objects. This is the type of movie that sets feminism back like a couple decades. Like there's a girl who like works at the reception of the guys' jobs they had before, where they're making shirts, and like every day he's asking her out on a date, and she says no every time. Well, no, he doesn't ask her out on a date. He just like, I don't know, but like she's like giving him the cold shoulder and just treating him like he's so under her level. But then like something happens. He's like, she like asks him, why don't you actually ask me out on a date? And then he says like, oh, that'll be fun. I've always wanted to know what it's like to date Ronald McDonald's daughter, because she has like purple hair, so yeah, colored hair, so it's Ronald McDonald's daughter. And so you'd think she'd be like really pissed off, but no, she's just like, why don't you just go ahead and ask me on that date then? So he does, and he's like, well, I'm busy, and then she's pushing it on to go on the date. Like, he just called you Ronald McDonald's daughter, and now you're like, here, have my children. I don't understand this movie. I don't understand why the women are so stupid. Like, this is supposed to be like the intelligent lead female, and there's like other parts in the movie where she's just like, if you come out of the car, because he like locked himself in the car because she brought him over to his parents' house. She's like, come over, if you come out of the car, I'll let you do that thing you like. And then he comes out of the car, just like, ugh. And that's not the only like thing about women that's super objectifying this movie. There's just like so many women in this movie that just come out of nowhere just to like bang the other guys on the team, and like it doesn't matter like how like much of douchebags the other guys are, the women are just like, oh no, I want you more now. And there's like a really, really stupid plot point where this guy, one of the guys on the team, his deal is he's never sober. He always has beer in his hand, and like he can't function if he isn't drunk. And that's just not explained at all. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like in a comedy, like you'd suspend your belief for some like stupid things, but like even in comedies, they'd like try to give an explanation for this type of stuff. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't be scientific. It wouldn't be something that actually happens in real life. But Like, give some effort into this. The script was so lazy. Just the writing just seemed like it was copy-paste from so other movies and just, like, somehow made worse. Like, there's got the guy, I don't know what examples to give for that. But it's just so many cliched type of comedy writings. They're just beaten down and dumbed down. And basically most of the comedy in this movie comes from one guy cursing at another guy, and see how hyperbolic we can make the profanity in this. Let's get as many different types, many different ways we can describe our balls in this movie. And that's funny, that's the comedy, that's the script. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rick Dawson. This movie was made in 2010. If IMDb is accurate, I hope, since it's 5 years later, you've kind of looked back on this and realized it's not great. Again, I thought it was really nice you sent me this link, you wanted me to do this, and you contacted me. But I have to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to give this some positive momentum. It's just not a good movie. It doesn't feel like a movie. It just looks, feels, sounds, and smells like a YouTube video. Anyway, that's Tetherball. Well, there's one more thing I wanted to mention. There's these weird, like, transitions that there's never, like, a specific reason why they happen, but there's these transitions where it's just animation. And honestly, that was probably, like, the biggest part of this movie for me, because, I mean, it's not great animation, but that, like, looks like where the highest amount of effort went into this movie, just leaps and bounds above the rest. So, I just wish that type of effort, I mean, it's not like watching a cartoon is very, like, stiff movements in the animation, but I'd like to see, like, more effort put into the live action part of the movie. I kept forgetting about the animation until it happened again, because it comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really fit. Anyway, that's Tetherball the movie. Has a 5.5 on IMDb somehow. It only has reviews from 30 people, so I guess that's why. Some of my favorite movies have lower than 5.5 on IMDb. And that's the world we live in. That's Tetherball. So, if you like this review, it's fine. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Just saying what I see. I'm doing it that way. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and bing bang goodbye.